Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a top 10 favourite and most used bags video. I did a variation on this last year and I got a few requests to do an updated one, so I thought I would go ahead and do that, but I thought I'd put a little bit of a twist on it this time. So I'm not only going to be featuring what I consider to be my favourite bags, but also my most used bags. Something I've learned in the past year is that just because I find a bag very beautiful and I may love it to bits, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get used, and by far the biggest indicator as to whether a bag is going to stay in my collection long term or possibly even forever is how much it gets used. So I thought it might be useful to kind of rank my bags in order of how much I use them. So number 1 is going to be my most used bag, right through to number 10, which is definitely still a favourite but perhaps doesn't get used quite so much as number 1. I think I have about 20 bags in my collection. I haven't done a proper count, but I think it's around about 20, so what you're seeing here is half of my collection and I guess the preferred half as well. I am going to be explaining each bag, but I'm not going to be going into super amounts of depth just because I do have videos on most of these bags, so I will link what I can down below. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'm going to get started with the first one. So my most used bag isn't going to come as a surprise to anyone. It is my Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. This is still my most used bag. It's what I'm actually using now, and even though I do have another Neverfull now, I just keep on going back to this one just because it's so useful. It is absolutely massive, which is what I love about it. I use this for overnight stays, I use it to carry my gym kit, I use it for work, I use it for pretty much everything. It's also just my go-to travel bag, and I just love how easy it is to wear. It's very comfortable for me, and you really can fit absolutely everything in here because it's so large. I've had this bag forever now, and I have talked about it on my channel quite a bit. I am a huge fan of the Neverfull, but this was definitely a no-brainer for me. It will probably always be my most used bag until it absolutely breaks because I just love it to bits and it's such a staple for me. My second most used bag is my Tory Burch Perry Tote. I got this for Christmas last year. I think the colour is Blue Cloud, and I've been obsessed with this bag. This is definitely one of my most used bags of 2016. I've been using it a ton. Even in winter I used it, even though it's quite a spring-like colour, and since it has brightened up weather-wise I've been using it even more. I just love it. I love the size. I think it's the perfect size, and it's just very neat looking. It's very smart. I like how subtle it is that it only has the tiny Tory Burch logo right there, and I think for the money that this costs, it's fantastic value for money. Better value for money than the Neverfull in my opinion. And for me, this is just the perfect tote bag. I love tote bags anyway, and I've just been using this non-stop, so definitely a firm favourite, and I'm so glad I ventured into the world of Tory Burch handbags because I've been super impressed. My third most used handbag is my Chanel Jumbo. I told you guys, no surprises here, but I love this bag. I talked about it a lot, so I'm not going to go into too much depth, but for me this is the ultimate. It was my holy grail then, it still is now, and I just use it constantly even now. I've had it for 5 years. I think it looks fantastic, and for me this is just the ultimate bag to elevate any outfit and just to make you feel good. I really love it. It's such a special bag. It was special then, I think it's just as special now. It's still very desirable now, even after all the crazy price increases. That's probably the one thing that I don't like about this bag, is how much it costs, but for me even now it's well worth the money. So 100% my favourite, and still something I always reach for just because it is so carefree. You know, it's very glamorous, but it's also very, very durable. I've caught this in so many downpours and it still looks absolutely beautiful, I think. So 100% a firm favourite, and something that I will always continue to reach for, I think. My fourth choice is very similar to number 3. It's in the exact same combination, and it is my Chanel Mini in black caviar with gold hardware. I'm obsessed with this bag. I loved it ever since I bought it, and my love just increases for it every time I use it, which I think is a sign of a good bag. It fits a surprising amount, so it's more practical than it looks, and I just love everything about it. The chain length is perfect for me. I don't really like wearing bags crossbody, so I can just slip this on my shoulder and I think it looks great, and it's also just the perfect evening bag, but also very cute on a daily basis as well if you don't want to carry much. So a wonderful classic little bag from Chanel, and just one that's completely stole my heart, and which is still my go-to evening bag. After my Chanel Mini, my most reached for evening bag is my Chanel Boy, although I do use this during the day as well. I got this for my birthday last year and I've been obsessed ever since. I'm usually quite traditional with my bags, you know, I really like the classic Chanel aesthetic, but I really love this. I love the fact that it still looks very Chanel with the quilting and the CC, but at the same time it's very edgy, you know. I like the kind of chunky ruthenium hardware, and I just can't say enough good things about this bag. This is in the old medium size, and I do think I made the right decision with getting the size. It's just perfect for me, and I really like the way it looks. So for me this is what I'm always reaching for, just because I love it so much and I definitely wouldn't be without it in my collection. Next up is the newest addition to my bag collection, and it is my Neverfull in the Damier Isère with the rose ballerine lining, if you can see that. And I really have been enjoying this bag. I'm so glad I got it in the MM size. I do still prefer my GM, but I think this makes a nice alternative and it's just a slightly neater looking option. The lining does get quite dirty, but that is easily solved with a baby wipe, which does actually work wonders. And so far I just think this is the perfect summer tote. I've really been liking it. It's not higher up on the list just because it's pretty new, but I think this is definitely a keeper for me. I've just been loving how summery, and I think it's a lot subtle than my monogram as well, so it just makes a nice change and something that I've really been enjoying. Coming in at number 7 is my last Chanel bag on this list, and it is my pale pink medium large flap. This is in the lambskin with the gold hardware, and this is actually gold plated, so it is quite a few years old. I love this. It's still my go-to summer bag whenever I have an occasion to go to or a wedding. This is always what I bring, mainly because I tend to wear a lot of pink, so it just goes very well, I think. I really like it. It's the perfect size for just events and occasions, and I just think it's so super pretty. It did used to be a darker shade of pink, but it has got this ombre effect now just because I do always use it in summer, so the sun does bleach it, but nevertheless I still do love it. It has a sweater in there because that's how I stuff some of my bags. But yeah, I really adore this. I've had this for so many years and I still reach for it time again, and for me this is just a true classic. Coming in at number 7 is my Gucci Soho Disco. I've spoken about this bag at length on my channel. I really enjoy it. It's not high up on my list just because I don't use kind of casual crossbody bags that often. I'm not really a fan of crossbody, as I mentioned before, and this is pretty much the only exception to this rule. I find this very comfortable to wear, and for me this is just the perfect errand running or even vacation bag. I do take this on holiday with me because it's very durable, it's pretty secure, and I just think it's very chic and understated, except for the big Gucci logo obviously, but I really like it. I think it's the perfect colour for me as well. It's a nice muted pink, so it does go with quite a few things in my wardrobe, and I just love it. I think it's fantastic value for money. I'm always recommending this bag to people just because as soon as you have one you really get the hype, you get why it's so great, and it's just such a classic for me. So love this and very much worthy of the number 8 spot. Coming in at number 9 is another pretty new addition to my collection, so it is my Louis Vuitton Cluny BB, and this is in the colour Rose Ballerine, the prettiest shade of pink. I'm pretty much obsessed with it, and I've just really fallen head over heels in love with this bag. I was a bit scared that it was going to be, I know, a bit of a novelty bag for me and that I wouldn't use it that much, but actually it's proven to be pretty versatile. I really like wearing it every which way, so I like carrying it by the top handle. I can put it on the crook of my arm, you know, it's a very comfortable handle drop, that's what I was going for, and also it's very comfortable using the long strap as well, so it's pretty versatile, and I just think this is such a girly fun bag, and it just makes any outfit just that little bit more whimsical and fun, and I've really been enjoying it. You can fit a fair bit in there. It's not a huge bag, but it's also not a super mini bag either, so really been liking this. It's also very durable as well, so the epi leather is really pretty tough, I think, and you can wipe most things clean, so it's pretty fuss free in that regard. And yeah, this has just become such a little favourite of mine, so really been enjoying it so far. For my 10th and final choice, I picked my Fendi Peekaboo, which I really couldn't not include in this list. I was slightly concerned when I first bought it that it wouldn't be quite right for me. I'm not usually one to go for this kind of top handle super structured look, but I've really been enjoying it. It does come with a shoulder strap, which does save me, but I just love everything about it. The colour is gorgeous, but also the little details, you know, the craftsmanship is unbelievable. It's really high quality, and it's just such a gorgeous, elegant bag, I think. So I do want to do a review on this bag as soon as I use it a bit more, but so far I highly recommend it. It's really a stunning bag, so doesn't get used much, but still definitely worthy of a place on my list. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of the bags I featured, then leave them for me in the comments section below. And if you did enjoy the video, please do give it a thumbs up. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.